What's good, you guys? Welcome to the Fuego&Slugger podcast. Today we'll be talking all Mets off-season signings and, of course, Juan Soto. If you enjoy the video, leave a like and subscribe to help support the channel. Follow all socials to stay updated. Thank you guys and enjoy.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Fuego.
And it's Slugger here.
And welcome back to another episode of the Fuego&Slugger podcast. And today we're just going to really be getting into depth about the off-season signings that the Mets have been making. Also, the off-season signings that have been made in and around baseball in general. Starting with the recent trade that the Mets made. Not recent, but the first off-season splash that the Mets made was the trade that they made for Jose Siri. I believe they sent a relieving pitcher, Eric Osby. I believe that was his name. He obviously got sent off to Tampa Bay, and we got Jose Siri, which I believe is going to be a defensive and offensive replacement for Harrison Bader, which I'm honestly a big fan of because Harrison Bader absolutely fucking sucked. Offensive-wise. Defensive-wise, he was pretty liable, but offensively, he was an automatic out every single time. That's how I felt about that.
Well, don't forget in the beginning, Harrison Bader did come up with some clutch hits because I was at a game where against the Pirates, and he got a huge hit off of Chapman where I think we took the lead and we ended up.
There were a lot of times that he came up in clutch moments, but towards the ending of the season and especially during the postseason, he just did terrible. He was definitely an automatic out. If I was the opposing pitcher, I would not even break a sweat with Harrison Bader because he just wasn't good. But defensively, he was amazing. I don't take anything away from him defensively, but I believe both offensively and defensively, we definitely upgraded with Jose Siri.
I love the way Harrison Bader would track the ball. He's not as graceful as some of the other guys in the game. The way he used to step back. And, I used to love the way he tracked the ball. No, he's an elite outfielder defensively. But he had his moments as an offensive player in the beginning. Like I said, in the beginning of the season, he did come up with some clutch hits.
Yeah.
But he struggled at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Towards the end too. I remember that specific game when Lindor hit that two-run home run to take the lead against the Braves. That was an insane game. But that game, I remember. I think it was at least 2 or 3 times Harrison Bader came up to the plate and didn't deliver.
Did not deliver. Just real quick, we're just gonna go over some of the less important signings. Yuki Seiko got signed to a minor league contract. Oliver Ortega got signed to a minor league contract. Edward Olivares got signed to a minor league contract. Alex Ramirez to a minor league contract. Sean Haney for future considerations.
International bonus pool money.
Grant Hardwick to a minor league contract. Those are just the minor signings that they made. I wouldn't say a big splash, but a pretty good key signing in Frankie Montas. I believe he had a pretty decent season last year, both with the Reds and the Brewers. We obviously, I want to say, dismantled him in the second game of the wild card until fucking Phil Maton comes in and just absolutely blows the game for us.
I do remember that game. That's a painful memory right there. I don't want to remember that one.
Insane.
Yeah, don't remind me.
But yeah, other than that, I think he did really well, really well. And I think for the Mets, he's under the right coaching and under the right guidance, he's gonna do really well. I think he's gonna give us quality innings, and he's gonna find his former self.
Well, for Frankie Montas, I think here this is a reclamation project. We did it with Sean Manaea, we did it with Luis Severino, and those are guys who once had success, but kind of fell off the map a little bit. They struggled, and struggled to find their footing in the major leagues at one point. But they eventually, we signed them, and you saw what they did last year.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, I compared that move similar to the Manaea move, and by the way, they're best friends. Just if you guys did not know that. I compare those moves. Those moves are very similar because Frankie Montas has a similar deal to Manaea, a 2-year with an opt-out after year 1. So he struggled in the beginning with the Reds. I'm sorry, and he was coming off an injury season.
Yeah.
He basically took the whole year off in 2022 with that shoulder injury.
Mm-hmm.
He only pitched 1 inning, if anything. and he came back second half, got traded, and he made something out of it. So, yeah, I think if we could get him to find his old form, like we did with Minaya and Severino, I think we're off to a good start.
Yeah, no, just to stay on Severino, I really wish he would have went to a contending team.
Yeah.
You know, because with the Athletics, he got the money, the contract he was looking for, which congrats to him. I'm super happy for Luis Severino. I wish the best for Luis Severino going forward in his career, but I really wish he would have went to a contending team where he can show I found my former self, and I'm gonna stay my former self. Like, this is who I am now. I found who I am now. This is how I'm gonna stay, and I'm here to give you quality innings and make a push for the playoffs. 3 teams I would have loved to see him go to, other than like that were not the Athletics. The St. Louis Cardinals. I don't want to call them a contending team, but I just felt like he would have fit in really well. The Pittsburgh Pirates, and maybe the Reds. I think I'm not gonna call them a contending team, but I just felt like he would have had a really good fit there. I don't like that he went to the Athletics, but I'm really happy that he did get the money and the contract that he well deserved, because he had an amazing 2024 season, an amazing season, and I'm really happy that he got what he wanted. And like I said, I just really wish the best for him.
No, I couldn't agree more. You know, I mean, Severino, I feel like he has a lot of value in him. You know, he's a pitcher. He had one of his better seasons since when 2019.
2019. Like, his rookie season was crazy.
Yeah, he was. I always compare him to Syndergaard. I think they both had a lot of upside to
injuries.
Yeah, but injury derailed their careers. Yeah, it happens.
Injuries are the worst.
Yeah,
injuries are the worst. They're the worst.
Yeah.
Another signing that I don't want to say I'm too excited about. Clay Holmes. I'm just not gonna sugarcoat anything. I really don't know too much about Clay Holmes' career. I didn't really pay attention to him. He was a Yankee. I don't pay attention to Yankees, so I really don't have much to say. But what I do know is that he blew a lot of games for them, and the fans absolutely hated him. So hopefully, whatever bullshit he was on in the Bronx, he leaves that in the Bronx and comes to Queens with a new mind to go out there and shove, whether he's going to be a starter or whether he's going to be in the bullpen. I don't agree with the starter thing because, he hasn't started a game since 2018. We're entering 2025. That's a huge gap, so hopefully that experiment works, but, you never know until you try. So I guess they want to see where that goes, and if anything, we throw him right back where, he's more comfortable at in the bullpen, so.
Again, I mean, another reclamation project. I think for him, he's a 2-time All-Star, by the way. So, I mean, he does have some upside to him. He as a bullpen, when he was coming out the bullpen, he was a 2-time All-Star. But I don't really understand this move here as a starter. I'm not too fond of it. But maybe he could be Seth Lugo-esque. Go out there and find a way to put it together as a starter, put up decent numbers for us. Doesn't need to be exceptional, he doesn't need to put up extraordinary numbers, but all he has to do is just keep us in the game. If he can do that as a starter, then he's doing his job.
That's true. Let's just obviously break the elephant in the room. Probably the most monumental, most important, most culture shifting, most organization shifting signing in Mets history, the signing of star free agent Juan Jose Soto Pacheco, the fucking GOAT.
The whole government, huh?
I'm super excited. I've been calling it since 2022. I'm very excited about it. Just can't wait to see him in City. I can't wait to Soto shuffle. I can't wait to just scream his name out loud. I just can't wait to see the next 15 years of Juan Soto. And I'm just so excited. The Yankees need to get their money up and stop being so salty. Money talks, money talks.
Yes, walks.
Yeah, shoot a better offer next time. Take care of your players. recruit a player, especially if that player meant so much to your organization, like you guys made it seem. I felt the Yankees didn't do a lot to really sign Juan Soto back. You know, Juan Soto, obviously it's about money, but I felt there was more that was in play other than money. You know, the Mets gave him a lot of perks, you know, taking care of not only him, but his family. And I just think, you know, he just felt it was going to be better not only financially, but career-wise. Him signing to the Mets, I felt like he thought it was going to be better, and people just needed, not people, but Yankee fans just need to get over it and stop being so salty. Just take it with a grain of salt. Just take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I cannot put into words how ecstatic I am about this signing here. Juan Soto has been one of my favorite players for years. Since he came up with the Nationals in 2018, what I love about Soto is his poise. You know, he's a guy who at the plate stays within himself. He knows what he's doing at the plate. You could tell with his approach at the plate, the Soto shuffle. You know, he got that confidence in him. And if you go back and watch that video too, when he hit the home run to send the Yankees to the World Series, you see in his facial expression like, "I got this." Like, he's unflappable.
Yeah, he plays mind games.
Exactly. And I love that about Soto. And I listen to sports radio a lot, and I don't hear all these sports radio host talk about how Soto's not aggressive enough and how Soto needs to swing the bat more. But I mostly disagree with that, because I feel like Soto's a guy who likes to pass the baton, and essentially that's what baseball is all about. In baseball, you are a team player, and your job is to get your teammates the best opportunity to succeed.
Yeah.
So Soto was batting for Aaron Judge last year. Remember this, and Aaron Judge is the best hitter in baseball.
Yep.
So if you have Aaron Judge behind you, why do you need to force the situation? Take your walks and let Judge knock one out the park.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I love about Soto. And Soto knows he can hit. It's not like he can't hit and he's just being passive. You know, he's a guy who's just trying to stay within himself and just trying to understand the situation. Sometimes don't force the situation. You just gotta just let it be and let the game flow.
Yeah, I could just only imagine how like that whole Juan Soto deal went down. Like I could just only imagine like Scott Boras being on the phone with Steve Cohen, telling him, "Hey, listen, the Yankees just gave Soto $760, $16. Shoot me your best offer."
Yeah.
And Steve Cohen probably before he shot that best offer, he probably laughed and said, "I got $5 million more plus perks for your family. Let's go."
I got the statue.
And we got the statue for you. Let's go.
Yo, we gonna build another statue.
Let's get the ball rolling. Man. I'm just really excited that both David Stearns and Steve Cohen got that deal done, and let's go fucking.
Yeah, they made it happen. Man.
Yeah, I really can't wait. It's gonna be such a fun season. Yeah. Like our expectations that we said in the first episode. You know, we expect the Mets to really put on a winning product. You know, put a winning team on the field, put a competitive team on the field, and just really make it a great time for the fans. You know, I can't wait to go to Citi Field this year. Can't wait to see you guys at Citi Field this year. Really engage with you guys at Citi Field this year. Not even only at Citi Field. You know, I can't wait to engage with you guys online, and as we keep posting more content and as we keep posting more episodes and keep growing as a brand, as a product, as a podcast, and, you know, as a family, you know, we're just super excited, and we just want to keep the ball rolling and keep the positive vibes going and just keep going and going and going and going for you guys. That's
we definitely want to be, you know, be successful. But we as Met fans, and I've watched the Mets for a long time now, so I've watched them fail, miserably throughout the years.
That's why it feels different.
Exactly.
That's why being a Mets fan today, in today's time, feels different. I just want to from when Steve Cohen took over.
Yeah.
It just felt different being a Mets fan. Like, you knew greatness was coming.
Yeah. The vibes changed.
You knew everything changed.
Yeah.
As soon as that deal got done, you knew everything changed, because we all know the Wilpons would have never even thought about giving Soto more than $400 million probably.
Soto wouldn't even be part of the process.
You know, and now the fact that players are actually choosing the Mets as a destination they want to go play for. You know, Nolan Arenado putting the Mets as one of his teams that he'll waive his no trade clause for, and I feel that just shows what the Mets are about. You know, we got this picture. Yeah, we got the change of the culture. We got this picture that we're a family-friendly organization. You know, we have this picture painted that we're a place where players want to play. You know, not only because we're putting a winning product on the field, but also we're putting a winning product off the field. You know, we're doing things off the field that shows why you want to be here, why players want to come play for the New York Mets, why players are proud to wear the orange and blue colors, and I'm just ecstatic to be a fan right now, and I'm just happy for every other Mets fan that is here, that is on ready to ride and ready to see all of our years of pain and misery and failure just all finally come to an end. And I really hope 2025 is the year that we finally get to raise up that World Series trophy. Yeah. Like, I have to see it. I have to see it before I die.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I've been saying that for the longest. I just need one, just only one, and I'll be satisfied at least, you know. So
yeah, and that's really what I was telling you. You know, from 10 years from now, you know, the next 10 years, I see, and I'm gonna be realistic here. I'm not even gonna try to be too biased. I see the Mets at least taking 3. In 10 years, I at least see them taking 3. With this lineup, with the ownership, with the money that we have, I see us taking 3. And I see from this year on out, I see the Mets becoming a crazy dynasty.
I wish you were a fortune teller.
Yeah, no, me too. Like, some of my picks been right. You know, from 2022, I've been calling Soto to the Mets. So, and I got that right. So hopefully, everything else I'm saying, I get right, because I'm tired of the failures. I'm tired of losing. I'm tired of almost winning. I'm tired of making it second place. I'm tired of you're the little brothers of New York. You're just the Mets. Mets are gonna Mets. LOL Mets. You know, I'm so tired of it. And just with the way things are going with the organization, you could just tell all of that is just leaving. Like, that's not the reputation of the Mets no more. And the Mets are not gonna Met. The Mets aren't LOL. You know, we are a winning organization. We are an organization where all of a sudden, because 4 or 5 years ago, we were not that organization. We were a fucking poverty team. We were a team dead in the water. I hated being a Mets fan. I really did. I really did.
I can't say I hated being a Mets fan, but I could definitely tell you it was painful.
It was very painful.
It built up my character, I'll tell you that.
Definitely built up my character. It helped me for heartbreak. It helped me for failures. And it just helped me for losing. And I'm one person who I hate fucking losing.
I hate losing too, with a passion.
Yeah, so I'm really glad that the Mets are doing what they're doing and becoming the organization that they're becoming. And I just really can't believe the Mets really outbidded the Yankees. Like, it's so crazy to think of it now. Like,
it's just so surreal.
All these years, knowing the history, it's so crazy that the Mets outbidded the Yankees for a star player. Yes. It's that alone should just tell you the way the Mets are moving. Yeah. Honestly,
such a prestigious franchise like the Yankees, but you know, I mean, for me,
such a shitty.
But you know, I mean, that's what I thought. I felt that it was important that Steve Cohen went out there and outbid the Yankees. You know, send the message to them more than, I mean, yes, I love the fact that we got Juan Soto and he's such a great player, but people will say 15 years too long, whatever. But
I'll take it for 15 years. I'll take it for 30 years.
Because I think we had to go out there and send a message, not just to the Yankees. I love the fact that we stuck it to the Yankees. Yeah. But to the entire MLB, like, we're not coming to play. You know, we are changing the perception of the New York Mets. The New York Mets are no longer the, like you said, LOL Mets. We're no longer the laughing stock of MLB. You know, and I think I saw earlier that they said the Mets are the Clippers of baseball. And you know,
the Brooklyn Nets of baseball.
Yeah, the Brooklyn Nets of baseball, the Clippers compared to the Lakers, and that really gets under my skin. Yeah. So I'm glad that we're starting to, you know, change this franchise for the better.
Change the perspective of how people look at the Mets and how people just look at the rivalry between the Mets and the Yankees. You know, even players thought, the Mets are just the Mets. The Mets are.
Jeter said that.
Yeah, nobody cares. Well, you better fucking care now. Better care now because we're coming. And people always the Dodgers this year.
Honestly, I mean, I think the Dodgers still have a great team.
Oh,
Don't get me wrong.
Definitely.
But I think people keep saying the Dodgers this, the Dodgers that, but the Dodgers, they have these guys for 10 years. They're not winning 10 championships. Yeah. I'm sorry to break. I hate to break it, but it's not gonna happen. So first of all, those guys have to be real motivated to be able to do it again. And in baseball, you have not really seen that dynasty where teams will win back to back. A team hasn't done it since 2000, since the Yankees did it.
1999 and 2000.
Exactly. And before that was the Blue Jays in the early 90s. Yeah. So you don't really see that no more, especially with the addition of more teams into the playoffs.
More teams,
you're not going to see that.
Velo, just the way baseball changed, the way baseball, just the way the baseball changed in general, the game, obviously velo is not how it used to be. You got guys throwing 100 to 105. You got guys more aggressive, stealing bases. You got guys with more pop. You got more home runs being hit. Baseball turned more a more offensive game now. So I feel, like you said, I don't think they're gonna keep going 10 world champion back to back. I think just going back to back is hard enough.
It's hard enough, right?
Especially in baseball. Yeah. Especially in baseball, I think it's hard to go back to back. I don't want to say it's hard to win a championship and stay a winning team because obviously
you can be a perennial
like Dodgers, they all done it, but I believe it's very hard to go back to back. Look at someone like the Texas Rangers. You guys just won the World Series, and you guys went right back to not making the playoffs, right back to a shitty team that you guys were before you guys won the World Series. So I just feel that's where it goes into why I say I'm not too worried about the Dodgers. Am I sitting here and being like, we're gonna steamroll through the Dodgers?
No, absolutely not.
Hell fucking no. Yeah. We're definitely not steamrolling through the Dodgers. But I think teams like Atlanta, Philly, and that's what the Mets need to do this season to stay a winning team. We gotta really steamroll over teams that we know we can beat. We can't go beating the best teams and go losing a series to the fucking Rockies. We can't go sweep the Phillies and then lose to the Athletics. That was one thing last season that I felt was our main thing. We were losing to really bad teams. We lost the series to the Athletics late in the season too.
I do remember that.
Very late in the season too, and that's where last season I thought, there's no way this team is making the playoffs. And if they do make the playoffs, there's no way they're getting past the wild card. That was honestly my realistic thought. There's no way this team is getting past the wild card. But hey, they exceeded all my expectations for 2024, and I feel they're gonna exceed all my expectations for 2024. I don't think they're gonna exceed my expectations, but I want them to meet my expectations. The 100 win team. The 100 win team. Being a competitive team and hopefully winning the 2025 World Series. And at least I would like to see at least 4 or 5 All-Stars coming off of this team.
We have not seen that in a long time.
Yeah, no, they need to take away fan voting out of All-Star voting. They need to take that out. Yeah. That shit is terrible. Please.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a popularity.
I mean, it is.
It doesn't even go based on stats anymore. It goes based on who's your favorite player, which I think is terrible. But like I said multiple times throughout this episode, I'm just so excited. I can't keep saying how much I'm excited for the season to start. How many more days until the season starts?
At least a good 100. At least a good 100. I know home opener, I believe, will be
the Blue Jays. Yes. But I think our first series of the year, I believe, against the Astros.
So 2 seasons in a row, Soto's gonna open up against the Astros. Why is that?
And that's why I really want the Mets to sign back Pete Alonso, because just imagine this lineup: Lindor first, Soto, Vientos, Alonso, Nimmo, Acuna, Winker, Alvarez, Siri. But if you want to put Alvarez over Winker. This would be like an unrealistic signing. But if I was Steve Cohen and I really wanted to say a big fuck you to the MLB, I'll go ahead and sign Santander. Like I have the money. I have the money for it. Why not?
Yeah.
I know it wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
But if I was Steve Cohen and I wanted to send a big middle finger to the MLB, I would definitely sign Santander. But if we sign Santander, Winker and Marte have to go. Like,
Yeah, no, of course.
They have to go. There's no
Yeah.
room for them. Just for the simple fact, Santander is a switcher.
I was just about to say that.
No matter if you put a right-handed pitcher or a left-handed pitcher, he can hit both of them. So there wouldn't be no room for another DH. But that's not happening. So I think I'll take both Marte and Winker back.
Yeah,
but I think I'll make Winker
Yes.
the main DH because there's more righty pitchers
Yes, there
in the
are,
world
yeah.
than there are lefty pitchers. So I think I'll put Winker to get more playing time than Marte this season if Winker if he eventually comes back. I would like to see Jose Iglesias back.
Oh, I love that.
I
OMG,
would,
Mr.
yeah.
OMG himself.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. I don't know if we should bring OMG to 2025
Back for next season.
Yeah, I think that should
Yeah.
just be a 2024 thing.
I could kind of agree with that.
I don't think we should bring it to 2025.
Yeah, and next year's a new year.
I think it's all about the Soto shuffle for
Yeah,
2025.
Soto
And I'm
shuffle,
not really
yeah,
even trying to
yeah,
glaze
yeah,
too
yeah,
much,
yeah.
but I think that's what really the main focus of the Mets this season. I think that's gonna be the real focal point of the Mets this season. How's Juan Soto gonna do? I feel like a lot of baseball fans around there, baseball in general, just has a high expectation for Juan Soto this season, and there's a lot of people out there who hope Juan Soto fails this season.
Yankee fans.
Hope this
Yankee
is
fans.
a bust season for the
yeah,
Mets,
yeah.
but I hope it's not. I really hope Juan Soto goes up there and sticks it to everybody who's been praying on his downfall, everybody who's been talking about by the age 30 he's gonna be a DH. If he's gonna be a DH and still giving me 30 home runs a season, give me him as a DH. I don't care. I'll take him as a DH. If he's gonna keep producing how he's producing offensively, I'll take him as a DH. That just opens up room to get a better defensive right fielder. So I'll take that.
You know why I'm not worried about Juan Soto? Juan Soto, his game is gonna age well. This is a guy. As I mentioned before, he takes pitches.
Mm-hmm.
You never lose that eye. Once you learn to lay off certain pitches, you always gonna have that with you. That's always gonna be in your arsenal. So Soto's always gonna be able to hit bombs. Mm-hmm. His numbers may decline by the time he hit year 10, but he will always be able to walk. He will always get you some hits. And I notice with a lot of hitters these days, the reason why their numbers aren't better than what they are is not only because baseball is hard, but because their approach sucks. If you're going up there with no approach and you're swinging out of your shoes and you're swinging at everything, chances are you're not hitting the ball. You're gonna strike out. Yeah. Soto's not a guy who strikes out a lot because he knows how to control the strike zone. His discernment of the strike zone, he's able to judge what's a ball and strike, is gonna play well late into his 30s.
Yeah, no, I'm just ecstatic, and I just can't wait to see him in Citi Field and for the 15 years. And that's why I really hope the Mets, within his first 5 years, we get him a ring. Not even get him a ring, just win a ring, win a world championship in general. Just because that would guarantee after those 5 years, he's not opting out. If he gets World Series within his first 5 years, he's not opting out. And I think that opt-out is club controlled.
Yeah, no, I'm sort of confused with this. I think the Mets have the option to pick it up, and after that,
if they want to pay him,
they're gonna pay him more.
Yeah,
so they'd have to
pay
him $55 million instead of $51 million. So they ask $4 million a year. So that's why ultimately might end up being $805 million instead of just like 65.
Right.
So Soto's the winner here.
$800 million. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's only $200 million away from $1 billion.
Yeah, guys, teach your kids how to play baseball.
Yes. Especially if you have a son and name him Juan. All right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're gonna have a lot more episodes coming to you guys soon. A lot more videos to be posted. If you guys haven't, please subscribe. Turn on the post notifications so you guys can be notified when we post a new video. And thank you guys so much.
Thank
we'll see you guys.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, this is Fuego logging out.
Slugger out.
And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you.
knock it out the park.
Yee yee yee.